God is engaging humanity with a different approach. No longer do we have to worry about how many tassels are on our cloaks. We don't even have cloaks, unless you're Daniel. Then you have a sweet cloak. Or growing fields with mixed grain in them. Or things as holy as the feast days. Do I have to observe the Passover? Do I have to go live in a tent in my backyard 1 week a year, Dave? You probably would. We just call it hunting now, right? Our task and our calling has become incredibly simplistic. To love one another. And Jesus praised God because this revelation was revealed most clearly to the infants, to the little children, to the least of these. This is the kind of terminology that God often gave to those who are what we would consider the bottom rungs of the faith, the least of these kinds of people. Indeed, Jesus went so far as to say that you must come to him as a little child, or you wouldn't be able to enter the kingdom of heaven at all. Come as a little kid, or don't come at all. But why is that praiseworthy? Because it means you have freedom. There was an ancient heresy at this time. They are called the Gnostics. And the Gnostics, they were built around secret and advanced knowledge. And the deeper that you got into the faith, the more secrets that were revealed to you. They had this secret kind of wisdom. And this is true of all sorts of cults today. You know, if you just give enough, then I'll tell you a secret of the faith. If you confess enough to me, this is what the Scientologists do. They have to confess enough, have it on record, get trapped enough. But what I love about a church like this is the windows are all open and clear. Every secret that I have is right here. There's no plan B. There's no alternative. I don't have like a secret book that I read out of under here that I say, Dave, if you give me $1,000, tell you the real way to salvation. It's so simple and it's so freeing, but we want so much to complicate things. We want to make it difficult. Jesus experienced this in his life. He said, love your neighbor as yourself. What's the first question he gets asked? Yeah, but who's my neighbor? Well, come on. So he flips it on its head. Basically, who should you be neighborly to is what he responds with, is everybody. We're supposed to love. We say, well, what does love mean? We say give. What is that? How much? Be generous. With who? We always want to get a little more complicated. But Jesus says if we come as children, and children are full of faith, trust, and total dependence. They believe what you say. Dave, I'm going to pick on you. Is it not true you convinced your young son that you were a robot? Dave did that. That's pretty funny. But that's the level of trust that children have. Like, you said it, I believe it, and will act accordingly. When my wife was pregnant with our kids, she was like this. She lost all sorts of reality. Like, I could say to her, Jessica, I went outside today and the sky was green instead of blue. She'd go, no, what happened? Did I take advantage of that? I'm not going to disclose that, Carissa. No self-incrimination here. But they believe and they have trust. I trust, says the little kid, that when I fall, you're going to catch me. Or when you tell me that I'm okay, that it's true. You all have seen, like, when a kid leaps down the steps at a parent, they just believe that you're going to be there. And only through experience of being dropped do they realize, oh, maybe it's not as trustworthy as I thought. But our Heavenly Father doesn't drop us in total dependence. Little kids couldn't survive. They need you. They need us as a parent. We need our Heavenly Father. And if we have moved into a life where we could survive without our faith, if we say to ourselves, well, take or leave Jesus, then we're not in the right kind of faith. We're not coming as little children. All throughout Matthew's gospel, Jesus says something equivalent to, let it be done for you according to your faith. Let it be done for you as you believe that I could do it. He asks, do you believe I can heal you? Do you believe that this could happen? It's not a question of how many scriptures, Uriah, do you have memorized? Then maybe I'll heal you. How many laws have you kept? What kind of clothes do you wear? How often do you go to church? What's your tithe level? None of those questions were asked. It was, what's your faith? How is it? Do you believe the things that I say about myself are true? That was Jesus' question. Your faith. And the more childlike, the better.